Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy Enel, or Enel, depending on how you want to say it. Get ready for a very, very spicy deck profile featuring OP08 here on the channel, which I am very excited to bring to everybody, let alone this is a leader in which I think a lot of people hate. I'm sorry, it is what it is, but Enel is not going anywhere in OP08. There are some tough matchups for this leader going into this set, but I think he'll still be here. You'll still see him at locals, and you generally will want to give him the win if you don't want to play against him. I understand, I get it. He's a yellow deck. We all hate how these decks work, but in OP08 it gets worse. And that's because we gain access to Nami here. Nami is another trigger which can pop something on board. Yay, right? So, for example, if you wanted to, you could. You could stack this deck with 16 triggers that allow you to pop something on board. You can go max out on Thunderbolts, Nami, and Luffy. That's 16 triggers that pop 5 cost or less that are on board. Kind of ridiculous. But with the new addition here with this Nami, you have 8 possibilities of getting either or off a life to killing something at 5 cost or less on your opponent's side of the field, which is pretty strong. On top of that, with the Egghead Luffy and OP07, you usually have 2 life or less. So again, if you hardcast this, use the ability, you can pop something and draw a card, which is really, really good. Now, with the addition of the Nami, there are some matchups in the format that we can't avoid, right? You have to have removal for. Decks like Jewelry Bonnie. She typically wants to have out Uruj here, right? Wild Monk, Mad Monk, whatever you want to call him. He is a very, very strong card for this leader to have. He enables a lot of her plays. With Enel, we have potentially 16 triggers that can answer this guy each and every time they decide to attack into us, which is awesome, right? We have a way to remove him. Therefore, a lot of other decks in the format, we can just remove blockers like the Useless Kid blocker, the 5 cost. We can get rid of Queen, 4 cost blocker Law. You name it. We have answers to it from Enel. And if we don't hit triggers, and we have to get around the 8 cost blocker Eustace Kid, of course we have access to Raigo and Katakuri. So, I don't think this deck is going to go anywhere in OP08 other than continue to do Enel things. He does have some hard matchups. We'll talk about it real quick before we dive into a bunch of games today. That's going to be Zoro. I think everybody and their brother should know this by now. I think Zoro will be coming back in OP08. He will be one of the top decks in the format. Unfortunately, if you guys aren't fans of Aggro Rush, you're going to have a hard time playing into this leader. Zoro is able to flood the board, have a full board by turn 4. It's a possibility, so be on the lookout for that. The downside to this is, as Enel, we often take hits early game just to get, card advantage. The good thing about Zoro is, if this man has a full board, that's 5 bodies that's coming at you plus leader swing. That's 6 attacks, which is potentially 1 to 3k counter for each swing, if not more. So, Enel is really going to have a hard time into this leader, and there's no question about it. The other 2, which you guys probably might not be aware of, is going to be Charlotte Pudding. Being able to have Big Mom 10 cost on turn 3 at the earliest, turn 4 at the latest, if played correctly, allows you to get 10 cost Mom on board, and if you're lucky, you can chain into another one the following turn, which 2 Big Moms back to back, healing Pudding, ripping 2 life from your opponent is kind of detrimental for a lot of decks to deal with, and that's including Enel. The third deck that I don't think a lot of people are going to pay attention to is going to be Kelgara. This deck is scary. Reason being, if you're familiar with Blue Leader Doflamingo here, where he's able to pump out Warlords from the top of his deck with his leader ability, this is much worse. You got to keep in mind, Dofi is limited to 4 cost leaders, or 4 cost Warlords that he's able to pop out on board. This one can do whatever. If he wants a 6 drop with an 8k power, guess what? He's going to put it on board. Each and every turn, this man can do that. So, to have a full board very quickly, with something like Ohm, Holy, going into big bodies, each and every turn, this deck can swarm the board very, very fast. So, if you're not prepared for it, he's going to run you over. And Enel, again, has difficulties with board flooding. So Zoro, Kelgaro, things like Charlotte Pudding, he's going to struggle against. And that's just the way it's going to be. But going into OP08 as an Enel player, you have multiple different avenues to build your list. This is just one deck list that I've come up with for OP08, which I'm very excited to showcase to you guys today. We are going to be utilizing triggers, and we are going to be running 32 of them. Yes, it's a lot. If you want to run more, you surely can. But in today's video here, I want to showcase Jewelry Bonnie, if I can, right? If we can pull it off. Jewelry Bonnie here, along with the Nami. Both of these triggers are going to be very useful in Enel, just because she allows you to pop something 5 costs or less, and if you have 3 cards in hand or less, you can draw one. That ability, the second ability, is really not going to help you all too much, because Enel, again, takes a lot of damage in the early game to get a lot of cards, but having the potential to pop something 5 or less each and every turn when your opponent deals damage to you is pretty scary. The Shirahoshi here and the Jewelry Bonnie. Jewelry Bonnie is going to be another 2 to 4 of for me, particularly with Enel, due to the fact that she's similar to Shirahoshi, except for Shirahoshi has an on play, draw 3, trash 2, right? Bonnie, you draw 2, trash 1 on trigger, and if she is on board and you attach 1 Don to this, you don't have to swing with it. You can swing with any other characters on board. If anything else deals damage to your opponent's life, you can activate this card's ability once per turn. So it's similar to Queen, it's similar to Shirahoshi, and we're talking about the this Queen here. Whereas you have the Don minus to draw 2, trash 1. This, as long as you deal damage, draw 2, trash 1, helps you filter cards out, helps you set up for late game. It fixes your hand. It's very, very strong at Enel. The Shirahoshi, on the other hand, you're still going to play into a lot of black decks in the format, a lot of decks that have removal. This allows you to heal up into the late game, which is something that a lot of people don't want to see Enel do, because it makes it a lot harder to deal with the leader. You have to already try to push through his passive, and then on top of that, healing with Yamato, Ace, Shirahoshi can be a detriment to a lot of decks in the format. They still will struggle with your big bodies that you slap on board, unless you're a blue deck with Red Rock. Other than that, if you don't have the Ice Ages, you don't have the removal ready, you can get overwhelmed very, very quickly still with this leader. But overall, we're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Hope you guys are ready for it. Let's get at it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Enel into Red Yellow Sabo, which I can't wait till he gets new support here soon in OP09, Revolutionary Army and stuff. I think he's going to be a lot of fun. But speaking of which, I will be diving into a list for Sabo and OP08 here as well. I know a couple people have asked me to look at a particular build here for Sabo. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do, but I do have an idea with some of the egghead stuff, but we'll get into that in a future video. In any case, let's go ahead and get Bonnie down here, actually. Get Bonnie on board. We'll attach a Don here and just smack in for 5. Usually what this allows me to do is force cards out of my opponent's hand in the early game, which is nice, right? Because they don't want me to draw 2, which I'm okay with. But being able to slap Bonnie down into matchups where you know they can't hard remove it is really, really good. Being Sabo, for example, this is one of them. Gedetsu, cool. We'll just play Gedetsu here. I know he heals the life, but it helps me not have to deal with Kikinojo back and forth from life here. Do the same thing. See if I can filter again. Nice. Okay, not bad. We already have double aces, 2 0-cost events in hand, which isn't too bad. The downside to it is 0-cost events in hand versus in life, you know what I mean? But it's okay. The filter really helps you out, especially if you guys need to fix your hand and or draw into your late game pieces, which we just drew into another Yamato, so that should help us out here in this match. Depending on what he wants to do here. Alright, so Ivan hits the board, which isn't too bad. Yep, trash that. Unfortunately, he gave me his other 1-cost Nami for a counter, then he trashed one off of life here. I'd assume he's running 4, but just to have those go to waste early is really, really bad for Sabo here. Nami enables the leader to just be able to use the leader swing, or leader ability each turn for free, so get rid of Shirahoshi. 1 0-cost event, because that sucks, but still. Not really much else we're going to be able to do about it. We don't run with Hiyori in this list, which I might consider, actually. Just so I can just put the 0-cost in life. Unfortunately, it's not as consistent as it would be with Katakuri, but it works out. Let's go 5 here. He should counter out here. But he did put a card on life, so maybe he wants to trigger. It's got to be a body on board that he needs. He needs something to be able to, start healing himself. Hopefully this gets through so we can go ahead and filter again. If it doesn't, it is what it is, but he put a card on life that I think he would need. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe it was a trigger and you chose not to activate it. I'm not sure. Get rid of this one for now, which is fine. We'll play this. We'll use the ability. We'll pop the Ivan Joffrey card, which is really good. Go 6. 3 life left. We have 2 Dawn open. Potentially we could play down the Shirahoshi blocker and just go 5 with Enel and call it a day. Just allows me to have 2 bodies on board here, which is probably the better play. In case he has like Kid and Killer and or Zoro in hand. Or Rush Ace is the thing too, right? Yep, there it is. Yep, cool. Let's take the hit. We have 2 blockers, not really worried about it. I don't really have the counter out here either. Oh, wow. Unlucky. Nice. Well played. It's pretty good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, rapid fire. We're going to try our best. Coming at you guys again with another Enel matchup into Marco. Our hand was terrible. We had to mulligan that. Unfortunately, this really isn't much better. But what do you want me to do? Sim shuffling at its finest. Yamato here as well. We'll pass it up. We have Gedetsu here, so. Okay, that's fair. I think maybe if we decide to play Gedetsu just to pop this, we could do it. But it might be better for us. Ooh, another Gedetsu. That's exactly what we're going to do. I actually was not going to play it and just attack with Enel and see what he wanted to do. But this works out. Not sure why you decided to counter that, but okay. Because if he plays anything that's 4 cost and under, we have the other Gedetsu just to pop it. He's going to attach a Dawn to leader for leader ability, so he has 5 Dawn to play around with here. And he chooses Marco. Okay. That's fine. So this probably tells me that he's not going to block with it. He's not at 2 life or less, so Marco won't get the value. Ooh, we'll use it. Saves me from spending 5 Dawn next turn for the Gedetsu. This way, if I wanted to swing heavy here, we can. So, let's do that. Let's go 9. We can go 7 with Gedetsu. If he has guard point, I guess. The Rad Beam wouldn't have helped there, even though we got Rad Beam off of life, which is nice. 2 hits. So far, so good. Kama. I'm guessing Gedetsu is going to die here. Yep. That's fine. Ooh, take that. I feel like a lot of the time in these matchups I've been playing today, Brule has really just come in clutch. Like almost every game I see her, which is really good. Regardless of if I have to hardcast her or not, sometimes she comes off the trigger more often than usual, but she's always done a really good job for me as of late. And I think it's because RP Law is gone, you know what I mean? So they can't just bottom deck it, which is nice. Let's do the thing here. Let's go 5 with Nami, and then we'll go 7 with lead. Or, actually, never mind. Never mind. I want to get the Shirahoshi down if I'm able to here. It's probably better that way. That way we have 2 blockers going into the late game. Because it's a potential for him to drop Ace next turn or Newgate. Or Sanji, right? If Sanji could be a thing. I hope not, but it could be a thing. Because you got no peel-off, no Sanji's peel-off off the trigger. He didn't play 1 to draw more cards. He potentially doesn't have anything here. Nice! Let's go. I mean, sure, it's fine with me. doesn't swing, which makes sense because my leader ability. Go 5 lead. Okay, so potentially no counter in hand. Unless you got that off the life there. Let's put him down to 0 here. No trigger? Okay. Fire Fist. Not bad. Yeah, so I'm going to assume he got that 2k off the life, otherwise he probably wouldn't have taken the 5k swing, maybe. Dofi. He's going to need 2 Dofis for this turn. 1 to block leader and ace on board. Or I guess he could play the ace blocker or another X-Drake. Or not. Unfortunate. He probably was going to attack into ace there. I was already spamming the Brûlée click. Let's rest this. And we'll go 19k with ace. I don't know why I clicked my leader there, but it's fine. And good game, buddy. Yep. No matter how I do this matchup, I feel like Reiju is very, very hard into Enel. Like, sorry, my bad. That was backwards. I feel like Enel into Reiju is very, very hard to play against, right? This leader is pretty scary, especially when she's able to slap down the 7-cost ETG and just go face each and every turn. That sucks. We don't have removal for it. We can't pop it before it happens. It's just, what do? I think this is one of those matchups where sometimes Katakuri comes in clutch, but Raigo is also pretty useful here as well. And that's our only difference maker, I think, that keeps us alive here in this match. Because most of the time, they're spamming out a lot of bodies, and they can just do a lot of damage very, very quickly by flooding the board. No stage is nice. Unless they have it off the Reiju there, or they had it to begin with. And they just chose to play down the Reiju as a body here for next turn. But I'll take it, it's fine. Speaking of Raigo, that's our second one. Not something that we need to see right now. Does suck. I think potentially we can just play down the Nami. Go 7k just to get them to pitch cards in hand. I think that's something that we want to do here. It's better than going 9 and them just taking the damage and getting an extra card for free. This way, they're obligated to just get rid of cards. Perhaps. Nice. I mean, it's not too bad, but still. What's left? Do you have the 2k counter? Okay. So we got rid of both Yanjis there, which is really, really good for us. And it's cool to see them actually using the blocker. I think the blocker is pretty solid, especially going into this meta in OP08. But we'll see. Do you have it in hand? Yep. You're cool. So minus 2,000 power. Sure. 5 lead. 4, 5, 6, 7. Even if we got another Raigo off life, we couldn't pop it. But we can kill this, which is good. Yep. 0 cost event. That sucks. Our hand's not looking the greatest. But we're at 1 life now, so we can actually remove this guy with Raigo and not have to worry about it. I think that's what we should do here. We'll just go 5 lead. If they have another one, they have another one. It's not really much else I'm able to do about it. One's already in trash, but we have the potential to remove it again with another Raigo, and we have 2 blockers on board. If I can stabilize, we can come back in this game. They didn't get stage either, which is really good for us, so... Sora's gonna get back the ETG from trash. Like, surely. Yep. So that's 2 7 costs in trash. Sure. They're doing it again. Here we go. I think this is what makes this deck crazy sometimes. Is they're able to just constantly keep a 7 cost body on board. I mean, there's not really a point here of popping the Sora, but it is what it is. We'll get rid of the Nami, we'll just kill this. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have done that. Should have dropped the Nami just to heal instead of dropping the 0 cost event. Get rid of the 2k. Yeah, I messed up. I shouldn't have cared about the Sora there. That way I could have kept the 2k counter and the Nami in hand and just got rid of the other Nami for that block there. Misplays were made. We'll go 5, and then go 5 with lead. The next turn we can heal, which is nice. Okay. We're making progress. We're starving them out. Never mind, they got the stage. Things are about to get a lot more difficult. The good thing is we haven't seen any Pawseplays here, which allows them to cheat out bodies. We haven't seen any of those, which is great. They just now got staged this late in the game, which it still can change the game drastically, right? We know that. There goes that. 7 cost body comes back. Every turn. There's nothing I can do about it. That's a weird play. I don't know why they didn't smack that with leader there. That didn't go 7th to face, but that's strange. Unfortunately, we kind of got to take the hit. Hey, cool. Get rid of the Yamato. I guess either way, we were going to take a damage, but they should have done that the other way around. Crash the pudding for stage effect. They get a Niji. So now they can bounce back a blocker to hand next turn. Or they can kill the Shirahoshi and allow me to heal one, which I don't think they'll do. I think we have to heal here. We go 6 lead, we'll pass it over. We know they have at least 1k counter. 2k, okay. Alright, not bad. We know one of the 3 cards in hand. Chopper, so Chopper, Niji, and then who's the other one? Hard casting. Okay, so they didn't have a baby, which is great. 7 and 5. Hey, let's go, Frankie. Not sure what the point of that was, but okay. I mean, we can pop the blocker. Get rid of the Brulee, because I know we have that. So 1 card in hand. And now we can clear out the 7 cost body on board here. We can't pop anything, but we can heal. Let's run the 9 into the 7. And they cannot protect it, which is great. My opponent is really stalling out the game here, it seems. Unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know why it took him that long to just let it go. But, you know, stalling at its finest, it is what it is. We'll go 6 here. Can this get through? Nice. So that means they have no counter in hand. Unless the last card they just drew there was a counter. Or they just chose to take the hit. But I would think in that situation they would have guarded out. Because there's no way they get through protect 2 9Ks the following turn. But we'll see. They should be bringing back at least the blocker, I'd assume. Raise you. Yep. This makes the most sense. So they'll get card draw. They'll be able to run into Yamato here if they choose to, because Yamato can go down to a 7k. Which in that case, they can go 7 with leader and then 7 with Ichiji into Yamato. Or they can go 9 into it, which will force my block. Or my 0 cost event, right? By getting rid of the Brulee. Yep, there's the blocker. And go 8. That's weird. That really is weird, right? Because now I can just give them a 2k counter. At least if they went 9k, it would force me to get rid of more cards from hand or the 0. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game. Come at you guys with Enel, playing into King. Hopefully, this leader does something in OP08 format. I don't see it happening. I don't feel like anyone has cracked the code to this list yet. I'm not sure if it's possible, honestly. It's not that the color scheme is bad, more so. It's just the leader ability is lackluster, but we'll see. King can still be a scary deck, and I think I have an idea of how I want to try running him. So, I will be showcasing a build later this week on the channel. Not saying it's going to be good. I'm going to try my hand at it and see what I can do, but in any case, we decided to play the Onami down just to get cards out of hand here. I didn't really care about banishing anything off of life, I just wanted to rip cards. No other real reason. Going 7k sometimes as Enel is fine, because we don't really play a lot of bodies on board. And often not with the Onami. It's either we play it down, get the banish, or we just pitch it for 1k. It's a dead card in hand to us usually, so. Rob Lucci. Not sure why he didn't pop my Nami there, but alright. I'll pretend that was a misplay, that's fine. We'll get rid of this. We'll go 6th lead. That's a weird play, wasn't it? I don't know why he didn't remove the Nami there. Alright, so let's do another search. He gets a king. And that is ST04. Wow, okay, alright. Sure. So he's going to kill Nami here. And that's it. Alright. Get Shirahoshi. I think Shirahoshi's going to be really good in this matchup here. But let's give our leader banish. Play down Bonnie. Force him to give me cards out of hand. Nice. So maybe Gedetsu can get through. Sweet. Sure. Then Bonnie's ability can activate here. Draw 2, we'll trash 1, we'll get rid of a Yamato. We don't really need both right now. I think this card is so good here for this deck. Yeah, Yamato is fine. Raigo might be important later, in case he has Kuzan, so I kind of want to hold on to them for now. Kuzan is going to be pretty terrifying to deal with here in this matchup without it. I will keep this on board. And give them the Capone and the Shirahoshi. This will force him to don up King to swing into it if he wants to remove it. He can't play Kaido here. If he has it, he can do that. So what do you do? He also hasn't put any blockers down, so like no queen, no law, nothing. So got 7 left. Let's get rid of Luffy. He cannot pop it with another king, which is great. Oh, he actually had one. Crazy. Fair. Page 1. So we got a 1k counter off of that, which is fine. Down to -2 for leader ability, drew another card. So he's at... So he goes a 9 Dawn next turn. I could Yamato, we could pop the queen, but I think that's kind of irrelevant. I think I'm going to try to get more cards out of hand here and just attack into the king. I'm not really in danger at this moment in time. And if I go 9, he still has to give me a 3k counter. He wants to counter out of both these swings with leader. That's totally fine. What you gonna do here? Okay, that's fine. The weird thing about it is we'll have 1 Dawn floating over, which is kind of awkward. If we go 9, so I think we just have to go to 10 into it. That way we can play the Shirahoshi down, or swing in with 5k with Onami. We need the blocker though. Hey, there's a jack. That's a problem. So that's going to remove the Onami, unless he wants to heal me. Or the Gedetsu, I guess. Forgot about that. Well played, well played. Gashima ramps, sure. He has 2 7K swings here. Technically, okay, or not. I would at least thought he would swing with 1 hit, but okay. Doing Raigo here feels like a bad idea. But I kind of want to get that Jack just gone, you know what I mean? Just to have it go. We're at 10. That means we can do 2 Dawn on each care. 2 Dawn on Nami and 2 Dawn on Enel, and then we can pop Raigo. This will be forced. Oops, I didn't math right, that's my bad. I said 2 and I only put 1, so it's my fault. There goes the 10 cost ace. Which I think is okay, because in this scenario here we still have the 0 cost event with our leader ability. I think we'll be fine. Sure. So you have Kaido here. He needs something on board. Alright, well that's a problem. I don't think we lose here though. Just because we have the Raigo to get rid of the Moria. I think we'll be okay. Oh, please pop this. Find a way. I don't even care, just get rid of it. Let me hit 1. Discarding Dawn for drawing powers for King. Sure. You gonna swing? That is the second time in which the 6 cost King did not attack me. Remove this. I think the rest of these Dawn here don't really matter too much, but getting this last damage in is probably the better idea. We don't want to attack Helmeppo at all, let's be fair. So put him to 0. So now we just need to stabilize again. If he wants to just go 5 with Helmeppo, oh, okay, alright. Strange play, okay. Be the 0 cost event with the Raigo here. 7. You'd love to see it, but I can't do anything with it right now. We have no triggers in hand. Otherwise, this would have been phenomenal. If we would have kept the 0 cost event, we've been fine, but we had to get rid of it to survive there. Because we could have thrown away the Yamato there for the Raigo, and then had the Onami to pop something else on board, which in this case would be the Helmeppo. But we don't really have a choice here now. He's got 6 Dawn to play around with. He could still potentially go for game here. Okay, moves 2 Dawn. For what? Okay. Weird. 5K here, take it. That's it. That was a weird play. I don't understand him sometimes, but it's fine. GG, bud. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably do one more game after this one, and we'll dive back into the deck list. In any case, we're playing with Enel today into Blue-Yellow Ace, which I actually think will do pretty well here in OP08. It actually might be pretty scary, to be honest. Being able to consistently have this leader up to 7K with your leader ability is something, right? But with the new cards that we gain access to OP08, he also has brand new 5 cost triggers that he can play around with things like the Nami and stuff. So this could be something we have to pay attention to. I guess we just go 8 here. As much as I want to go 6 and just drop down the Shirahoshi, I don't think it's that valuable. Because he is blue, so he has options to remove it with another removal. So, 8K, no problem. Hope he doesn't find anything. Nope, they always hit. We're so good at this game. So he's going to be a 9K swing this turn, which we can't do anything about. He can't swing with Ace, so we really need to find like a trigger to pop it. Would be great. Oh wait, we won't be able to. I forgot. He just, yeah, ordered our life again. Yeah, you're cool. Bit the blocker down. That's fine. We'll figure out a way. We'll remove it. It's fine. Another Brûlée. No Nami here. Kind of sucks. I guess we can go 7 into 7. Doesn't really sound like the best, but I'd rather just be able to get down to a Brûlée here. So we get a card from hand at the very least. Then put down another blocker on board. If he has another 5-cost ace, he can't swing with it, which is great. So I don't know why he didn't just decide to take the life, unless he doesn't have one. That snake up here. He already takes it, yep. Just the healing mechanic with this deck is just so much fun. We have to clear board next turn. Funny enough, he knows that he reordered my life there, so a little weird. I don't mind taking this hit either. Okay. Gee, thanks, man. I appreciate you. I mean, it really helps me out, so thanks. And now we just kill the ace here. We don't have anything else to play on board other than the small Shirahoshi, so I could go 10k. But I don't need the Shirahoshi right now on board. I think going 12 is probably just a better option here. This way we can just guarantee this gone unless he wants to give me his whole hand. Cool. See what he needed 5k counter there. Or sorry, 6k counter. He's got 6 Dawn left to play around with. He has to use for leader ability. If he wants to rip that off life, he needs another Shirahoshi here, Viola, or a Newgate. Not Shirahoshi, sorry, Hiyori, my bad. 11k, no problem. Get rid of this for now. Not bad. But I have a plan. We go into 9 Dawn next turn. So I'll just swing with 5. And if he wants to counter out, he can. Or give me the blocker. If he decides to take the damage, we drop down the Yamato and pop the Satori. I think that's the best play. So we have to go 5 first. Please take the hit. Let me have the Satori. Maybe they know, maybe they know. Well, we still have to heal anyway. So we'll get rid of this, we'll heal up, pass it up. We do have Raigo in case he does play with Kaido or any big bodies here in this list. Just in case. We know at least his top life is going to be a trigger. Which he has to pitch a card to play, so I'm okay with that. Alright, so we got nothing that time off the leader ability. Love to see it. You can't win every time, but most of the time as ace you can, let's be fair. It's been pretty consistent since OP07. I just do think a lot of decks kind of put this deck a little bit at a detriment, like RP Law and Lucci right now with Stage. So I think when those two lists disappear, this leader might be back into the format, or at least showcase in OP08. I hope it does. 7 lead here. Gotta get that 2 off that. We have to deal with the Jozu next turn, which I cannot pop because we don't have another Yamato here. If we did, it'd be great. Alright. No Yamato. I can't remove the Jozu here. We have to stabilize somehow. I think the only way that we're going to be able to do this is by playing down the ace and or playing double blocker here. Let's get the Satori out of the way. Yep, you're welcome. We'll go 9 here as well. This should be a guaranteed damage here. And then we can do either Brûlée and Shirahoshi. That's for 5 Dawn. I can't pop anything with the Gedetsu. I can't pop anything with Luffy, which is unfortunate. Let's say my man's taking forever here. Thunderbolt, that sucks. You know what? We have a bit of counter in hand. Let's be a little risky here. We have 3, 5, 9k at most. So I think we're safe. This would heal us extra life too and allow us to do a damage. You have 3 cards in hand. I think it's better to play the ace here in this situation. If he wants to attack into it next turn, by all means, I don't really care too much. But I think both my big bodies cannot stay alive on board here, otherwise he loses the game. Okay. So he gets ace back off of life. Goes up to a 9k this turn, or sorry, a 7k this turn. He's swinging it at 9. Actually, if he has another blocker here, this could get messy. And he does. Wow, who'd have thought? Alright, so he swings it at 9k. Satori swings for 6, Joji swings for 7. Or he goes 10. Okay, that's fine. You got it. Ooh, we get a veggie. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to bother with it. We're going to save this. I know that's a weird play, but hear me out. Oh, wow, he actually didn't swing anyway. Okay. I'll take those, I guess. Alright. I don't know, but okay. We'll do this right now, for now. We get down double blockers here. Luffy doesn't help me in this scenario, because I cannot pop the ace. But I can go 10 and get rid of it this way. Unless he has the counter in hand. Okay, so I think we have enough counter for whatever he wants to do here. That's a really good card here in this list. It guarantees ace, like his leader ability, to not whiff, which is nice. The same thing with the 5-cost blocker ace, which is pretty good. But he has the Luffy. The Luffy can pop the Brûlée here if he wants to. 8k lead. Necessarily we don't care too much here. Get a Frankie, cool. Do Frankie first, draw on the ace. We'll discard Raigo here. So that's our passive is gone. He has 4 swings left. 5 down open. There's 9. Then ace could potentially swing for 10. Ooh, we get a burn. Nice. Go 8k, sure. And good game, bud. I think that was his best play right there. I think he had to go for game, but regardless if he would have managed to Dawn a little bit better there, by not playing down the Teach and just going for it, he still wouldn't have had enough with the blockers we have on board, plus our hand. So I think we were sitting pretty good. But he still wouldn't have enough counter for the other ones. I don't know why I did that. I should have just went 10 to face. That's my bad. Good game, buddy. Well played. Bonnie is so cool, man. I wish we saw her earlier. That'd been awesome. This will be the last game of the day today, boys and girls. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. This one was a lot of fun. Sit down and play with Enel. Although, again, one of the most hated leaders in the format. In the game right now. I'm sorry. I had to do it to you. We had to get these videos out of the way. That way we can dive into fun leaders or more respectable leaders in OP08, quote unquote. But let's get into this one here real quick. We're playing Enel into Kagura. So this should be heavily in his favor. Especially with our hand being as bad as it is. It's not great. It's definitely not good. We did get to go second, but I don't think necessarily matters all too much because he's able to slap down so many bodies just off his leader ability alone. And I would assume this would be a Skypea package, so I don't mind the first hit all too much, but we get rid of the Shirahoshi. He has no bodies on board just in case we get a trigger off this. Please whiff. Love to see it. Never mind. I should have assumed it was in hand. Alright, let's go 8K here. See if we can get a banish off. I guess he doesn't care. Alright, that's cool. I mean, he can heal himself with his leader ability, so... 6 lead. Yep. Cheats that out for free. Because he has 6 Dawn that he can play around with. Or sorry, he has 6 Dawn total on his board. Pop that. Oh, you're so cool. That card is so good, man. Just being able to heal himself with his leader. Or off the leader. Sorry, not off the leader skill, sorry. Being able to heal himself with Kagaro being on board is pretty spooky. And just like that, that is 3 big bodies I have to deal with somehow, shape, or form. We can clear the dog at the very least, I'd imagine. Cool. Not much else we can do here. Watch me the Satori here. Close enough. That's another body on board. That finds another body. So we get another Holly. That's fine. So now, if he wants to, he can cheat out another Kagura, right? And then he can play down another Norman to heal a life again. This deck is so scary to deal with. 6K. There it is. Like, what do I do here? Yeah, we knew he had the dog already in hand. He got that off of the Shura. So there's 8K here to face. We get a Bonnie. It does help us out somewhat. We have like a little bit more of a endgame pieces, but I don't think we're gonna make it to that point. Get another Brûlée. It's fine. I guess the Nami's only thing that she's popping is the Ohm here. Realistically. Because Norman's at 6. I guess we can pop Holly too, but there's no real point. It's the big bodies that are the real threats here, and I can't touch them without having the Raigo, but that takes up my whole turn next turn. So potentially, I could Raigo a big one and then swing in for 8K into the Norman. That's something I could do. He's got 1 Dawn up and 5 in hand, so he probably has something to protect it. I could Katakuri the Brûlée. Oops. Well, math is hard. My bad. I was going to Katakuri the Brûlée on top of life and then just swing in. But, yeah. That's my bad. For some reason, I thought I was at 10. So that's my fault. Alright, we'll go 8 here. We'll try this way instead. So he's going to rest our Brûlée here. So that's pretty bad. And I don't think we will survive next turn. Yeah, the counter. I can play Nami, get rid of the Raigo if I wanted to pop the Ohm, but I think the better scenario is just popping the Kalgara here. There's no reason not to now. It slows him down a little bit, but he did rest my blocker, so I think he still has a way to get over this and win the game. We really don't have much counter in hands. Heals another life. Like I said, as long as he has Kalgaro on board, Norland can just keep healing, which is great. So that lost power, we'll get rid of that. I think even if this was a zero cost event in life, he'd still lose the game no matter what. It's Swings in for 7. So now he has 3 guaranteed attacks. Perhaps. Blocking here really doesn't matter too much, huh? Gets Wiper on board. Yep. That card is really good. Shirahoshi, though. Man, that sucks. We did get 2 cards with counter power. But if I discard the Yamato, right, we still have to discard another card for leader ability. So, we basically only gain 1k counter here this turn. The Shirahoshi effect. Because we have to play Ace next turn to heal another life. Actually, we won't be able to heal. Because he still has 2 attacks left. Yep. If I would have got rid of the Ace there, we would have been protected for at least one of those swings, that we could have blocked the other one, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. Because I think we need the Ace to try to sustain ourselves for this turn. And now we have to remove these bodies on board. Let's go for this one first. This is the obvious play. Cool. 5 lead. Whether he takes this hit or not, I think he still has the game. So now he has 5 attacks here this turn. Ohm is actually a 6k now, considering he's at 2 life or less. So that's 2, 4, 6. That's 6 Don he can utilize there to potentially have 3 8k swings. Just enough counter, too. So we'll block the first one. Can we get through this? Goes 8 here. Oh well, here we go. Alright. We'll do this first, lockdown Wiper. And then we'll get rid of Nami here. I watched that be a 0 cost event. Yellow's about to do yellow things. Please. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. Boys, we in here. We in here. I think we might have this. Okay, he's got 5 in hand, 4 Don open. We know he does have the event in hand, right? It gives him 3,000 power. So we can go 12k with Ace. And then 13 with lead. Potentially, this can take him out. Oh, he had an Eldor too. Wow. He was prepared, man. Yo, that sucks. Is that it? Now you got it. Alright, fair enough. Let's go 6 here. And then I guess we'll go 7 with Shirahoshi. Okay. Boys. Draw 2 trash 1. That might have just got him the game. That actually might have just gotten him the game. Wow. Hey, yo, I'm not even mad, man. I'm not even mad. Yellow doing yellow things both ways here. Got double Bages. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the end of the video, in which today we played around with Enel, everyone's favorite leader here in One Piece TCG, you know. Yeah. But I did have a good time overall, and I do think you guys hopefully enjoy this one as well. I know this is a leader that which everybody tends to hate, and it is what it is. I decided to do a video on this because I wanted to showcase him in OP08 and just with a build in which you play with a lot of triggers. Now again, there's multiple ways you can build this list. You can play a Skypiea variation if you want to. There's so many different ways you can build an L. Overall, it's a lot of fun. I do hope you guys give them a shot, pick them up, and let me know what you think about them. If you guys are new to the channel and or new to the One Piece TCG, Enel is a very strong leader here going into OP08. Again, he does have some downsides into certain matchups in OP08. Decks such as like Zoro here, Kelgaro, which we just played against, and Pudding. And speaking of which, this match was a nightmare, man. I think I would much rather play against this, though, than I would play against Pudding. But overall, very, very good games overall all around. So, but very good games all around, especially into this deck here. Very, very scary leader to deal with or have to play into, not only as Enel, but any deck in the format. Just being able to slap down so many bodies on board and you don't have answers to them unless you're playing either blue or black that have heavy removal with the Gravity Blaze, the Red Rocks, or again, you're playing a black deck such as Rob Lucci, Gecko Moria that you have the answer to. It's very hard not to get overrun by the amount of bodies this man spits out. And it's going to be the same concept with Zoro here for a lot of slower decks in the format. But, in any case, I do hope you guys enjoy this one. Remember to smash that like button if you liked the video. Guys, please. Ladies, please. If you liked the video, like the video, alright? Anyway, Discord is open. Come hop in there. Come tell me I suck. It is what it is. I will catch you guys in the very next video. Stay safe out there. Good luck at your locals. They're coming up here for the pre-releases. Hope you guys get some good stuff. I will catch you guys in the very next one.